What's Gucci, everyone? It's AJ here again, and today I want to make a video about generics in Swift. So the high-level overview of generics is that, let's say, for instance, I have this function, which I did in my function video in the Swift tutorials, is I want to swap, two variables. I simply want to swap A and B. So, you see this a lot in common in any kind of programming language is a simple swap function. And what generics allow you to do is they allow you to make things more generic so you can use different variable types with only one function or class. And so this allows a lot of power, as you'll see here shortly. And the reason because generics exist is, one of the reasons, is because of this swap method. So let's say I have this nice swaps method for integers, and it works perfectly fine. As you can see here, it swaps 34 and 23 right here. But if I wanted to make a swaps function for strings, well, what I would need to do is rename this to swaps2, because they can't be the same name. And I would need to, change just this top right here to make sure that the types it takes is two strings to switch the strings, because I can't switch different data types. That would kind of be illegal. So that's kind of burdensome, especially since I have to do that for every single data type I use. But instead, I want to make a function that's a little bit more hint generic. And if it's more generic, that means I can use multiple data types with it. And the way we're going to do that is, I'm going to quickly type this out and then explain it. So I'm going to use this generic notation, which if you use Java, you've seen. And I'm going to change all these data types you see here to T. And then so right there, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a type here, and I'm going to say, okay, swaps is a generic method of type T. That means that I am going to recognize T as a data type. T is not a data type, it represents a data type. So I'm going to say, okay, A is going to take a type definition of type T, and B is going to take a type definition of type T. T will be assigned to anything. But what I'm saying is, T can be any data type, but A and B must be the same data type. So as you can see here, even though I added all those generic parameters now, my swap1 and swap2 still work perfectly well. And if I change my 1 and 2 variables to strings instead, and look at my configurations, I can see here that I still was able to swap string 1 and string 2. I guess I should change this to 2. Perfectly fine, even though without changing my swaps method, because I was able to use generics, which is the power of generics, is I can now use different data types. Now, you may have seen this if you messed around with array or dictionaries. Those are generics. You can decide which data types dictionaries take or arrays take, or maybe they take everything. But you can decide which data types they take because they're generic data structures. And that's the power of generics, is you can allow them to be used for different classes that other people write to fuse their functionality together. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have the best day of your life.